My name is Elaine.
And I'm Katie.
Coming to you from Colima News. Today, it has come to our attention that SAPs are coming to Colima, Mexico. This type of services have been introduced in Mexico City and has become popular with its citizens as an easier way to move around the city. Katie, what exactly are SAPs scooters and how do you think the market will react?
SAP scooters can be defined as the segment that covers online platforms and apps which bring together passengers and drivers. The way it works is you download the app, find a scooter at a pickup or drop-off location, pay on the app at a very low cost, and start riding. At first glance, I'm not sure how to tell how this will react in the market, but that's why we turn to our market analyst to tell us more about whether or not it will be good for the market. Christy, tell us a little bit more about Colima.
Thank you, Katie. Colima was made a Mexican state in 1857. Colima, Mexico is a branch of the Sierra Madre mountain range with two volcanoes surrounding the city. One is active and one is dormant. It has a population of about 711,000 people, and the area is over 2,000 miles in size. Geography ranges from mountains to beaches to rivers. To get around town, people use taxis, buses, or move around by foot. Although there are many of these options to transport, taxis and bus tickets could add up very quickly. As for the weather, it has some of the most beautiful weather and is known to be the best climate in the West Coast, with an average temperature throughout the year of 80 degrees. It has become one of the country's most important tourist resorts for national and international visitors. As for the economy, Colima right now manufactures iron, tourism, agriculture, mining, and fishing, with a growth of 5% annually. The 2009 GDP of the state is 43 billion pesos. However, due to its small size and population, this is only 0.5% of Mexico's total GDP. The average salary for jobs in Colima, Mexico is 252,000 Mexican pesos per year, or an hourly rate of 121 Mexican pesos. It has a growing technological industry with companies involved with software development, so this market has a potential fit for the new ZAPs.
The demographics have shown some promising results with the insertion of the new SAP scooters, but we also wanted to get an insider opinion from a local in Colima. We interviewed an individual from Colima, Alex Gutierrez, who has lived both in the States and in Mexico. He shared with us something he would like to see improved in Colima is transportation. Right now, many people use taxi services, city buses, or just stick to walking around the city. An issue that arises, Gutierrez says, is that many of the points of interest, shops and parks, are not close to one another, so it is difficult to walk to these places because it can end up being a longer walk than anticipated. So Gutierrez says that a service like SAP could potentially work. The city is familiar with people who tour it through biking. Therefore, many drivers are already cautious and share the road with them, and the city has laws in place to make sure that all modes of transportation can coexist. Gutierrez also says that since Colima has a larger young population, the scooter trend can potentially become popular among them and can create a new market in the city. According to an article by Vox, the scooter startups have not released any information on the average age of their riders, but it would seem to be no accident that they are all zeroing in on urban areas with large concentrations of millennial residents, a coveted consumer demographic. And young people are also more likely than older generations to seek out an alternative to cars for their commutes. And since the city has so many different attractions, SAP can become one of the main modes of transportation among them. The average household income in Colima is much lower than the average household income in all of Mexico. In Colima, the average salary for Social Security contribution is $281 in 2017, which is much lower than the country's average, $333. SAP scooters fit this market well because, according to the same article, some scooter companies have already proposed offering discounts for people who live in public housing or receive food stamps. One company introduced a donation module to its app that will allow riders to dedicate part of their fare to a local nonprofit.
Next, Jared and I are going to be talking about the potential business model canvas for ZAP scooters in Colima. After looking at the demographics of the area and talking to a local, we went on to make a business model canvas to study all areas before inserting our product into the market. The customer segment we would focus on is urbanites and tourists. This is mainly because Colima, as we said earlier, is a huge tourist destination and a thriving city. The value we would give customers is the benefit of low cost, easy to use transportation system. We think tourists along with locals would benefit greatly from our product, especially because the town is so big with not many effective forms of transportation. The customer relationships we need to build are within the community. We need to assure customers that our products help reduce costs, improve efficiency, and offer an eco-friendly alternative to transportation. The more support we get from the community, the better off our product will react in the market.
In addition, the revenue stream would come from the booking of our scooter and the fees associated with it. Zaps offer a service that has a one-time $5 charge for your first ride, but then 20 cents per minute for every other ride from there on, compared to taxis and buses charging an overpriced fee along with per minute and mile. Zaps also offer riders a discount if there are consecutive purchases, which would benefit the locals. We want to reach our customers through social media and other avenues that involve the internet, as well as posting signs throughout the city to get the attention of our target market. Some key resources we need to gain are the materials to make the dock for the scooters and to create a translated app that is fully functional. The key activities that we will need to happen are developing a relationship with the city of Colima and testing the scooters before a full release. And finally, our cost structure will focus on competitive pricing in order to gain market share. We want to be cheaper than the average taxi or bus ride, but also be more convenient to ride. Overall, we think that Zap scooters could be a good fit into the market because of the need for transport, the accessibility, and the eco-friendly nature of the scooters.
Further information that we need to move forward are to look at the barriers and rich points. We identified a couple of barriers or rich points throughout our research, one of which includes the workplace issues. By bringing in Zaps into the community, we would essentially be taking customers or business away from local taxi or bus drivers. This could potentially cause conflict and backlash at our company. We are going to consider this when we take the business to launch, but with the way that the economy is moving more towards a technological growth and the population increasing in youth, Zaps will be a far more efficient way to transport. Our second rich point that we discovered were the laws with where people are allowed to ride the Zaps. Such laws would include only driving on sanctioned roads, not sidewalks. Customers of Zaps will need to be educated on this before riding. However, on the dock, we think that there should be a sign with the law clearly printed in both English and Spanish for customers to see and be educated on. Overall, Zaps go perfectly with the way the city of Colima is heading towards. Citizens are young and looking to move forward with new technologies, so this is a perfect time and market for Zaps to be introduced.
Wow, that's impressive. Even though we had our doubts about Zap entering the market in Colima, after hearing the research, we think that they're actually a good fit for the city.
Well, we are very excited for this product to launch. My name is Katie.
And I'm Elaine.
From Colima News, we wish the Zap Scooter companies the best of luck.